The U.S. economy expanded in the second quarter as Americans spent more in companies invested in themselves. According to the Commerce Department, GDP grew more than 4% between April and June. That's the fastest growth rate since 2014 and is up from 2.2% growth in the first quarter. President Trump touted the performance in front of the White House Friday, calling the U.S. the economic envy of the entire world. It's a message Republican lawmakers are hoping will last until the November midterms, as concern grows about the impact of the president's trade policies. CBSN political contributor Michael Graham is in Boston. He's also a columnist for the Boston Herald and politics editor at nhjournal.com. Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
So this week, we saw President Trump appear to soften his stance on tariffs toward Europe, offered $12 billion in support for U.S. farmers hurt by tariffs. On Friday, he celebrated 4% economic growth last quarter. So how would you describe the president's approach to the economy?
Well, I mean, the president's approach as a Twitterer and speaker is all over the map. I have it's like a 16-year-old learning to drive. I have no clue what he's trying to do. But the results, it's hard to argue with the results. If it is the case that the EU is going to soften some of their tariffs on American goods, if you come out of this ugly, trade war talk with a benefit to the American economy and American businesses, that's a win. Mm-hmm. And most Americans won't care. All they'll know is that my company hired some more people and I got a raise because we're selling more stuff to Europe. The same on economic growth. I think one thing that people who don't understand why Trump still holds on to that kind of solid 35%, 40% of the vote don't realize is the Obama economy was kind of rugged. The last year of Obama's presidency, growth was 1.6%. That's 7 years of, stimulus spending and government planning and Obamacare for the economy. As a Trump friend of mine tweeted out today, hey, it looks like Joe Biden's summer of recovery is finally here. And so when you take workers who feel like they were either neglected or an afterthought during the Obama years when the focus was on globalization and what appeared to be a focus on white-collar jobs and government jobs, and they feel like that their jobs are improving, it's a true bounce in Trump's base's step. This is what Trump's base wants to see.
Michael, in your upcoming piece for CBSNews.com, you borrow from James Carville's famous 1990s quote that it's the economy, stupid. Should Republicans and the president be talking more about the economy in this midterm year?
I think that any Republican who's running for election who talks about anything except the economy is making a mistake. Trump's critics are right. He makes it hard for Republicans to stay on topic because he likes to tweet out crazy stuff. And then there's all the crazy stuff that's just happening, with Playboy models and lawyers and tapes and the Mueller investigation going on. And so it doesn't help when President Trump seems to enjoy and relish that fight. That fight, win or lose, whatever ends up happening with Mueller, that is not a win for Republicans. Look at the recent poll numbers out of Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Michigan. States where Trump either won or did exceptionally well for a Republican. He's now deeply underwater in those states. You don't win those Great Lakes industrial working blue-collar communities back by having quippy tweets about witch hunt Mueller. You win them back, and as a congressman running in those districts, you win by asking people, how's your job doing? Do you feel more secure at work? Mm-hmm. What is the one area in national polling where President Trump consistently polls with a majority of Americans saying he's doing a good job? It's the economy, stupid. And if you're talking about anything else, you are stupid.
Let's switch topics for a moment. Let's talk about the president's former lawyer, Michael Cohen. You mentioned a lot of people don't care about this, but it is in the news. Paula Reed reported earlier that Cohen is now willing to work with special counsel Robert Mueller. What sort of political problem does Cohen represent for the president?
I think, he represents the same problem that it keeps this story alive. He also represents the more salacious part of it. Remember, while the news this week is Michael Cohen claiming that President Trump knew about a meeting with a Russian lawyer that his son took that he claimed he didn't know about, most people connect the Cohen part of the story with the paying off Playboy models and with, the character issues, President Trump's problems in that arena. So that's not good. Also, when your spokespeople like Rudy Giuliani have to go out and say essentially the president's longtime personal attorney can't be trusted because he's a big fat liar. That's not a win, really, when you boil it down. So once again, anything the president can do to move the conversation back to kitchen table topics where Americans feel like they're winning, where things are going well, that's where Republicans, particularly Republicans in Congress, they have 42 open seats to defend. That's the biggest number for any party since 1930.
Wow.
It's going to be very tough to keep Democrats from picking up 23 seats in November.
Well, the president said in an interview Friday that he plans this fall to spend 6 or 7 days a week on the campaign trail for the midterms. Is he an effective campaigner if he stays on the topics that people want to hear?
Can we agree that President Obama was a good campaigner? He'd go out and he'd have rallies and he would get the crowds going and his people loved him, and yet he had one of the worst midterm first elections of any president ever, losing 64, I believe it was, or 62 seats.
So it doesn't matter if you're an effective campaigner?
And the point is, it's easy to get people to love you. It's hard to get them to turn out for the people you want them to love. That's a much harder sale to make. I'll say this, though. When President Obama was campaigning in 2010, the economy was not doing well, and you had the Obamacare, whatever it was going to do, it hadn't kicked in. All people knew about were it was scary change. Trump, at least, can stand next to a congressman and ask people a simple question. Look how fast the economy is growing. Look how your job security is. Can you afford to take a chance to get rid of the Republicans and endanger that? And that does give him a stronger selling point than Barack Obama had at this point in his presidency.
All right, Michael Graham in Boston for us. Thank you. Have a good weekend.
You too. Thanks.